In this podcast episode, David Icke discusses various topics related to free speech, the control of the world, and the role of money. He emphasizes the importance of inclusivity and criticizes those who oppose it, stating that they should be banned. David mentions that he has been banned from 26 countries for attempting to expose the truth about free speech, money, and secret organizations that control the world. He highlights the power of money and how it controls people's choices and freedom. He mentions that secret societies, which are compartmentalized, have been pushing the world towards a global dystopia. He argues that the control of information and perception is crucial in controlling people's behavior. He criticizes the censorship by big tech companies and the media, stating that it is an expression of weakness and fear. David explains the structure of the global cult that controls the world. He describes it as a massive spider's web encircling the planet, with each strand representing a secret society or government agency. He mentions that the inner core of the cult is aware of the big picture and the agenda, while the majority of people involved in these organizations are compartmentalized and unaware of the agenda they are advancing. He discusses the endgame of the global cult, which is to connect artificial intelligence to the human brain. He mentions that this would allow AI to control human perceptions directly, leading to the suppression of alternative perceptions and the dominance of the cult's narrative. He cites figures like Ray Kurzweil and Elon Musk, who have expressed their support for connecting AI to the human brain. David argues that the current trend of censorship and control is leading towards a global dystopia. He mentions the importance of knowing the outcome that the cult plans to impose in order to understand the journey. He criticizes the influence of billionaires like Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, stating that their wealth is a vehicle for control rather than real freedom. He discusses the role of technology, such as the internet and social media, in shaping perceptions and dividing people. He mentions that these platforms are initially promoted as spaces for free speech but eventually become tools for control and division. He warns against the illusion of freedom on these platforms and suggests that alternative platforms may also succumb to censorship and control. David criticizes the limited perspective of mainstream academia, science, medicine, politics, and media, which he refers to as the smear of visible light. He argues that these institutions only provide information from a narrow band of frequency, representing a small fraction of reality. He advocates for a more open-minded approach, acknowledging that there is always more to know and that wisdom lies in recognizing how little we actually know. The conversation then shifts to the potential role of psychedelics and technology in expanding human awareness. David shares his personal experience with taking psychedelics and how it led him to question the illusory nature of reality. He suggests that psychedelics and advanced technologies like virtual reality could potentially open up new dimensions of perception and understanding. The discussion delves into the concept of living in a simulation, similar to the movie, The Matrix. David proposes that our reality is a simulation and that the laws of physics are encoded within it. He argues that our bodies act as biological computers that decode the information from the simulation into our perceived reality. He highlights the recurring patterns and codes found in nature and genetics as evidence of this simulation. David also addresses the issue of censorship and manipulation of perception. He criticizes the labeling and division of people based on race, religion, and other identities, arguing that these labels prevent individuals from realizing their true nature as consciousness. He discusses the concept of being a glitch in the matrix, someone who sees through the illusions of the simulation and questions the dominant narratives. The conversation touches on the topic of anti-Semitism and the manipulation of this issue for political purposes. David argues that the term anti-Semitism has been expanded to encompass any criticism of Israel or globalism, effectively silencing dissenting voices. He emphasizes the importance of freedom of speech and the right to express different opinions, even if they are considered conspiracy theories. Throughout the podcast, David emphasizes the need to take control of our perceptions and not be swayed by external influences. He encourages individuals to observe reality from a detached perspective, recognizing the illusory nature of the world and not getting caught up in the drama and manipulation. He believes that by reclaiming our power and refusing to cooperate with oppressive systems, we can create positive change. David then delves into the concept of perceptions and their impact on generating frequencies. He explains that different emotions and thoughts generate different frequencies, with fear and anxiety producing low frequencies and joy and happiness generating high frequencies. He suggests that entities in the unseen realm feed off the low vibrational energy emitted by humans, which is why the simulation of control and manipulation is designed to keep people in low-frequency states. This, in turn, generates the energy that these entities feed off. The guest also discusses the idea of attaching artificial intelligence to the human brain to artificially invoke perceptions and generate low vibrational energy. He argues that this is part of the agenda to control perception and maintain the dominance of the official narrative. However, David believes that as more people awaken and tap into higher vibrational consciousness, the energy emitted by these individuals can counteract the low vibrational energy and create a positive electromagnetic field. The conversation then shifts to the topic of working with family members, specifically David's son. He expresses that he has a great working relationship with his son and daughter, and they are involved in his work. He emphasizes the importance of allowing his children to form their own opinions and conclusions rather than imposing his beliefs on them. When asked about the impact he wishes to leave on the world, David expresses his desire for a world where everyone has the right to their opinion and where there is a free flow of information and respect for different views. He highlights the importance of self-respect and the need for individuals to question authority and not fear the consequences of non-cooperation. He also emphasizes the importance of respecting others' opinions and the diminishing nature of this respect in today's society. The conversation then touches on the topic of masculinity and the demasculinization of men. David argues that masculinity is being targeted because it represents the willingness to say no and resist control. He suggests that the attack on masculinity is part of a larger agenda to move towards a no-gender human, where procreation is technologically controlled and parents' roles are diminished. He discusses the confusion of gender as a step towards fusing gender and ultimately achieving this no-gender human. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe.